Alright guys, welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel. I'm Andrew Wolfe, and today we're going to be talking about Boulder, Colorado. Specifically, some of the best kept secrets here that locals don't want you to know about. Let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, so secret number one, this is probably the worst, best kept secret. That Boulder here is specifically, it's going to be very concerned about protecting the Boulder lifestyle, the beautiful nature all around us, and the great access to hiking, biking, and riding trails, ponds and lakes and rivers to the mountains, really protecting the community we have here. So there's going to be lots of local initiatives, whether it's around composting or recycling, that are built to keep the neighborhood clean, and they're also going to have building restrictions to make sure that some of the new development that's going on doesn't encroach too much on the natural beauty of Boulder. So this is really a whole community accepted push to keep Boulder gorgeous. So you're going to want to make sure you prioritize that and think about what's going on there. You're going to impact Boulder when you move here just by living here, and hopefully it's going to be in a positive way. And look around, the locals are going to take care of you. Another great secret here is that, the hiking trails that people move here for, oftentimes the best experiences aren't going to be on the most famous ones. Now, don't get me wrong, if you Google best hikes in Boulder, you're going to have a list of awesome things to do, and you're going to go out there and you're going to make friends and interact with people on the trails because they do become social atmospheres. But if you are looking for something that you can experience a little bit more privately, maybe look around for some of the lesser known and lesser trotted hiking trails. Anemone's Trail, for example, is a great one. There's lots of options in Boulder Canyon. They're a little more secluded, a little more private, that locals love to get out there and enjoy the nature, really interact with the beauty around them, take some photos, and just kind of enjoy being alone on a hike or with your close friends. All right, so another thing to think about here, another secret of the area, is timing really matters. And of course, this is kind of a secret in every town, but you want to figure out the pulse of the city of Boulder and when everyone goes out shopping, when everyone commutes back and forth to work if they're commuting, when everyone, kind of goes down to Pearl Street to gobble up all the parking. And you can kind of work around that, right? So you can enjoy all these things. There's always something happening that's going to make your life a lot easier if you kind of work through off hours or plan ahead and make sure you're securing those coveted front parking spots at the grocery store as early as possible so you can get in and out and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, guys, another good point to think about here is East Boulder is a really great thing to target. It's kind of a secret hotspot for Boulderites. Parking is a little bit easier to get around, homes are a little bit bigger, it's a little easier to commute, and things are just generally a little more affordable in East Boulder. So if you want to move to Boulder and you want to kind of get a sneaky good deal, East Boulder is a great place to target. All right, guys, another great secret here is that pretty darn easy to get around. Most locals don't drive down to Pearl Street often, right? They're gonna walk or ride their bike, take advantage of the great local transit here with the hop, the skip, and the jump. So Boulder makes it really easy to commute around. So if you're a local here, leave the car at home and take it to ride downtown. Save yourself the parking fees or just the hassle of finding parking. Go for a hike, go for a walk, ride your bike. Lots of great ways to get around the city here that are free or extremely affordable, that don't involve driving your car, putting miles on it, paying for parking. All right, guys, another secret here is that while Pearl Street is awesome and you will see locals go there really frequently for dining out, catching a beer, going to a cafe, seeing a show, or going to watch the buskers, Boulderites don't go to downtown Pearl Street every single day. Now, if you live in the Hill, you might want to go check out the Sink. It's a really, really popular spot up there. If you live in East Boulder, Blackberry Market's a great place to be. So I encourage you when you come out here to explore the different neighborhoods and figure out the great local hotspots where you can meet your friends and neighbors and just enjoy kind of the local perks of being in your neighborhood without having to go to different parts of town. And kind of on that note, the community's gonna feel a little bit smaller than it looks, right? So Boulder has a decent sized footprint. It can be pretty spread out. You can have more rural options. You can have a great condo in downtown Pearl Street, but the community itself is going to be very tight knit, irrespective of where you live. And I encourage you guys to explore that, right? Say hi to the people you see on the hiking and biking trails. Sit at the community table when you're going out to eat. Really immerse yourself in the local culture, and you're going to kind of get that small town feel where people know you and people take care of you, and you can buy into the culture here and really feel like you're part of the community. All right, now number 8's getting a little bit more into that community feel and what makes the community. And that's going to be people really build their social lives around activities, right? So rather than big scale events or necessarily who you may or may not work with. Your community is going to be built around who you go to the gym with, who you bike with, who you meet up on trails with, who you go skiing in Eldora Mountain with, who you go fly fishing with. So make sure you're immersing yourselves in communities that you value and activities you really want to do. And you're going to find like-minded folks that want to hang out with you, want to share those experiences. So if you're an activity-focused person, you're going to fit Boulder like a glove. All right, now Boulder definitely has a reputation for being more expensive, and that is certainly true. You know, higher than average in Colorado and certainly higher than average for the whole country on basically everything with the exception of insurance, or property insurance, I should say. The most expensive neighborhoods in Boulder aren't always the best fits for everyone, right? So we already talked about East Boulder being a great value play. There's some other communities inside Boulder, but I also encourage you guys to look at, you know, some of the smaller towns outside of Boulder. Gun Barrel, Longmont, Louisville can be options that are really, really great fits that you can access the Boulder lifestyle in just a couple of minutes, but maybe not pay that same Boulder price tag. So there's ways to find great bargains to live in Boulder, experience Boulder, be a member of the community, but not necessarily pay the most expensive Boulder price tag and still have an awesome experience living here. All right, so the next big secret here is one that, you know, I might get in a little trouble with the local Coloradans for sharing here, but the weather that you hear about being super snowy, super cold, super windy, it's all really overblown. We're here at the beginning of January and it's a beautiful 60-degree sunny day. We're gonna get 300 plus days just like this throughout the whole year. Great sunny days, or the weather gets obviously a lot warmer in the summertime. And will you get the occasional snowstorm? Sure. Will things get a little chillier, especially in the nighttime when the sun goes behind the mountains? Sure. But overall, Boulder's gonna have relatively mild winters. It's gonna be a great experience here. You're gonna love it. Keep a jacket in your car and sunglasses in your car at all times and you'll be just fine. The weather's nothing too crazy. Another secret to think about here is when you're thinking about buying real estate, whether it's for you to live in or from an investment perspective, it's important to know what values are most prized out here in Boulder. And here people are really going to value the location relative to hiking, biking, trails, and nature over being located near the best restaurants in town, right? Like we talked about, it's pretty easy to get around the city. So, you know, if you want to take your bike or walk over to the great walking trails to the best restaurants or even drive, it's pretty easy to access. But what people love is having great access right out their front door to the best hiking trails in the city. And additionally, people are really going to value those locations over the size of their home, right? Boulder people are really comfortable living in smaller homes, be them single-family homes, townhouses, or condos. They're going to do all their living outside of their home rather than inside of their home. So square footage here is going to be a little bit smaller, certainly a little bit smaller per dollar, but the value is going to be the location, right? And lifestyle here is what people are really trying to buy the experience for. So I would say as you're looking for your home, make sure you're prioritizing your goals and what you're really looking for. But if you're investor minded or if you want to think about the increased value in the future, prioritizing a lifestyle, access to nature, and a really, really great location is going to be the best thing to think about when you're investing. So that's been a lot of secrets about living here in Boulder, guys. And bringing it all together, I just want to kind of point out here that there might be a lot of lifestyle changes in there for you, but Boulder is really going to change you as you go through it. You're going to just naturally, by being involved in the great community here and the great location, you're probably going to eat a little bit better. You're probably going to be a little more active, and you're probably going to be a little more neighborly. So the people who really love the Boulder experience here, irrespective of where they choose to buy their home, really lean into the community here and really make themselves a part of Boulder. Boulder is extremely accepting. They want you to kind of be a part of the club. So I would say lean in. Enjoy what you enjoy, find the activities you like to do and target those, and you will meet awesome people and you really can't go wrong. So again, I love making the videos for you guys. It's great to connect online, but I love even more connecting in person. So go ahead and give me a call, a text, an email, whatever works. I'm happy to connect on person and talk you through some of the great options we have here in Boulder. And yeah, just leave a comment. I'm happy to talk that way as well. You guys have a great day. I'll catch you next time.